Hey, Trekkies, welcome to the Budapest Fest show. All right, so this is a new this. Okay, great. Now that that's muted, I can get back to what I was saying. All right, so welcome to the Budapest Fest show. All right, so obviously this show we will be taking a look at our athletes leading into trials, and of course, this show will be continuing heading into the World Championships as well, where we'll also break down, Jamaica's chances of having a festival at the World Championships. But before we get to the World Championships, obviously we have a dance a yard before we can dance abroad. So we have to head to our national trials to see, can we make or see which athletes can make the team. All right. So today we'll be taking a look at the field events athletes, and then we'll talk about, if they've currently met the standard, what they have to do to make the standard, and obviously make the trip to the world championships other than just placing in the top three. That's 1, 2, 3. So other than placing in the top three, we will talk about that. So we're just gonna jump straight in. I don't want this to be too long and long-winded, so I'm just gonna jump straight in. I created a nice little package for you guys, trackies. Unfortunately, somewhere along the way, I realized that my computer is really bugging. So yeah, I don't think the audio is gonna play, but still you can enjoy the visuals for each round. So we're gonna start with the men's discus. Why not? All right, Tracky. So there you had it. That was a little, preview of the top three Jamaicans that we have in the discus this season. You saw on the screen, you saw Frederick Dakers, you did see Roger Stoner, and you also saw Travis Michael. So track is heading into trials. I think this is going to be a really, really good event for Jamaica this season. I just want to get this out there. So the qualifying standard for the discus throw is 67 meters for the men, right? So that's the standard that the guys have to keep in mind when they head to the trials to see if they can get a spot on the team to the World Championships. Now, with that said, so far this season, we have three guys that have met that standard already. So we have Roger Stone, as I did say, we have Frederick Dakers, and we have Travis Michael. Now, Roger Stoner has already thrown 68.64 meters to be the leader for our Jamaican athletes. Behind him is Frederick Dakers, 68.57 meters, and we also have Travis Michael, 68.14 meters. So they've all already through the qualifying standard. But just behind them, they also do have some challenges, and you never know, you can get lucky on the day. Such are the throws and the jumps. One good throw or one good jump, can land you a spot on the team. So with that said, we also have Brandon Lloyd. He's thrown 65.32 meters, and Chadwick Wright. He's thrown 63.85 meters. And our former under 20 champion Kai Chang, I think he's around 23 now. He's definitely stepping up into the big guys league, and he's also thrown 63.19 meters so far this season. So I think this is definitely going to be a very, very, very good event here at the trials. We already have three people that have met the qualifying standard, and with such strong competition, you never know, we may have another few guys that will be able to meet the standard at the trials itself. So I'm really, really looking forward to that event. I definitely think it's going to be a humdinger event. Also, I don't think athletes will be able to sit on their laurels based on what we're seeing so far for the season. I'm expecting, Roger Stoner to come out and throw well. I'm also expecting Frederick Dakers to come out and throw well. So let me just get my guest in here. I've been waiting for him to join, so I'm thankful that he did show up. All right, so let me just do that now. Hey, Coach, good evening. Welcome.
Hi
Welcome to
T.
XP Track Time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Big up
Oh
to
yeah, I
your
just want everybody
viewers
to
and your
know I'm
subscribers.
having a lightning storm is right outside right now. So if
Really?
I
Oh,
disappear, you know what happened. Lightning
oh,
has already hit out the light one time already, so I'm crossing my fingers. All right, so we're just talking about the men's discus coach.
hmm.
Can you give me any insights as it relates to what you're expecting? Do you think it's going to be a good competition at trials for the big men, or do you think there will be any surprises? Right now, we have three people that have already met the standard. We have Roger Stoner, we have Frederick Dakers, and we have Travis Michael. Do you think there's any outside shot of anyone, popping up and saying, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, and I'm going to take a spot on the team?
No, I've not really seen any outside persons. Again, thank you for having me, T. In terms of the three names that you made mention of, they are the three front runners. I think though Travis would have been the most consistent, based off his distance so far this season. I
Mm-hmm.
think he seems to be on a mission. Frederick Dakers,
Yeah.
you can't really count him out. So, I mean, those three are the top three. Roger Stoner just threw that distance once. So you don't know what
Mm-hmm.
sort of shape he'll be coming in. But the fact of the matter is, it's good that he would have already made the qualifying standard. So it doesn't matter what he threw at trials. All he has to do is to be in the top three. So definitely, I think that is the top three at trials. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what's the next? I can't remember his name. He normally Chad Chad Wright. He
All right.
normally
Mm-hmm. He's at 63 meters so far, 63.85 so far this season.
yes, he's normally in and around, but in terms of the qualifying
Mm-hmm.
standard, I don't think he has met it yet. Will he get it
No,
for
he hasn't
trials?
because the standard is 67. I'm not sure though because I do know that you tend to carry over your qualification from last year if you're
From
still
the
within the
last year,
year.
yeah.
So I'm not sure
Yeah.
if some of them are still within the qualification period. However, I'm just going to
Yeah, I
use what I
think
see
that
so far this year.
yeah man, I think that is that is the situation. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean I think they really have to step up their game, and I think trials
Yeah.
is the place for them to step up their game. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
on the line. Making the national team is on the line. Representing your country, representing your family, your friends, your coach, and even yourself, or all those who believe in the talent. So I believe everything will be out there on the line on that day at
Mm-hmm.
trials. And one thing I know about the throws in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
they're normally a close knitted bunch of
Yeah.
athlete. So I know there
Mm-hmm.
won't be any animosity, but may the best
Yeah.
win.
May the best man win indeed. But something you said that struck me interesting was when you said Roger threw that throw once
Mm-hmm.
so far, that big throw. And Travis has been the most consistent so far. And I was saying shortly before you came on the live stream that it's, the throws and the jumps, there's such a tricky event where you just need one lucky throw and one lucky jump and you can dislodge someone. So, you never know who will turn up, and get that lucky throw at trials and maybe also meet the qualifying standard because they will have some time after trials to try to make the qualifying standard if they don't make it
Right. And
at trials.
you made mention of luck. I don't think it's luck. I mean, in other sports you might find luck, but there's no luck in track and field. It's
It
just that
throws?
yeah, it's just that you have to just go out there and you might find a big throw. It is as simple
Okay.
as that, yeah, man. You just go out there.
Oh,
What they tell the athletes when they're warming up, don't try to release because your one good throw or far distance might be in that warm up. So you don't want to unleash in the warm up because they normally do their
oh,
warm up throws. So I don't think it has to do with luck. It has to do with that one big throw that is within your reach. And
oh.
when you get the turn, whether you glide, it's depending on how you reach that release to get that one big throw. So
So
I don't believe in
in
the
a
luck
sense,
side of it.
just good execution on
Right.
the day, I suppose. But I've always seen it, because sometimes I've seen an athlete. Let's use 2021, for instance, and this doesn't really have anything to do with the discus. It's a triple jump. But I remember thinking to myself that Shanika was just, didn't have the best luck um that year because she looked in shape to me. She was definitely a top contender for a medal. But like everybody was just catching these great jumps, and she was the only one that was just not catching that great jump. And I was like, oh, the luck of the draw sometimes. Because even some of the athletes that beat her out, definitely on a different day she would have been able to top that athlete, but it just didn't happen during the Olympics, which is why I've always thought to myself, sometimes it's just luck. But
Nah.
like you, good execution.
Yeah, man, it's good execution, and sometimes you're just not having it on that day.
Yeah.
You might adjust your run up. The wind reading might be a factor. Your run up, you might be getting it nice, but in terms of the hop step, if you're doing triple jump, you're not getting that phase at the event, right? In the long jump,
Hmm.
you might be taking off too far from the board. You might be in a situation where you're not hanging for too long, so your flight
Yeah.
phase is not where you want it to be. Most times, it's just one execution, because even when you look at Tajay Gale, when he won that um World
Long
Championship,
jump.
he
Yeah.
just
Hmm.
got a good jump.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to
Yeah.
do with luck in my estimation. But some people
Hmm.
like yourself might believe in the luck thing, but
No, no, no. And you see, this is why I love having a coach's perspective because, again, I see myself as an outsider looking in because, again,
mm-hmm,
I've never done any of this training, so I don't really know the true ins and outs. I just
right,
have a good read on what's happening. So it's a good hearing, from a coach exactly what these athletes go through and how they actually get these big jumps or big throws. So I need to
right.
stop wantonly going around and saying, oh, it was just luck.
Nah, it's not luck. In other sports, you might find a little favor that you can
Uh-huh.
attribute to luck, but
Okay.
I don't see that in track and field. I don't know.
All right. So, Coach, I was telling everyone in the live stream that we're not going to spend too long. So we just want to just get in, talk about the athletes, and pretty much get out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have quite a few of these things to be doing. So yeah, we're not going to spend too long on it. And I also created this nice little package thing, and unfortunately, my computer doesn't want to, do me any justice as usual. So
Really?
I'm gonna play them anyway. And I don't think any audio is gonna come through. Well, I haven't heard any audio on my end. Maybe you guys are gonna hear the audio. I haven't heard it. So I'm just gonna click play. So we're just gonna jump into the next event. Since we took the male discuss, we're just gonna jump straight into the female discuss. And I'm just gonna play that little, opening thing that I have there. Yeah. You didn't hear any audio, right?
Yeah, man, I heard it.
You heard, oh, you heard the audio? Oh, is me alone can't hear the audio then? Okay, I was 14. All right. So with that said, those would be the leaders for the female discus this season. So I'm just gonna go in and tell you what they've thrown thus far for the season and what the requirements are to get to the world championships. Now let me just find that page. Okay, that's the male one. Okay, this is female. All right. So we have Samantha Hall that's currently leading the throws for the discus throws for the women in Jamaica. She has thrown 60.82 meters. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have Shade Lawrence that has thrown 59.80 meters. And then we have Cedrica Williams that has thrown 57.84 meters. And from my understanding, Federica is still a junior. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, Cedrica is still a
Cedrica.
junior.
Yeah, man, she
So
is.
yeah, she is doing big things. I remember when I was looking at it earlier, I thought to myself, wow, and you're still under 20? Amazing. So as it stands now, though, as it relates to the qualifying standard for the female discus, it is 64.24 meters, which means that there's no female currently in Jamaica that has met the standard. Do they have a shot? at making the standard, or is it a case where maybe one goes with a B standard? What do you think, Coach?
Um, excuse me, my allergies seem to be acting up. For me, we have always not done so well in this event. You know what I mean? And for what we have seen this season, in my estimation, it's not that encouraging. But there's still time. Still time to hit that qualifying mark. You have the trials, and like I said before, if that athlete can find, or those three athletes will be qualifying, the top three can find that special throw in terms of execution, getting the power and the speed, the turn, and the technique correct, then certainly we might see a qualifier in that. But I am not too optimistic about this one, to be honest. Not too
Yeah, I
optimistic.
was thinking the most we could probably hope for is a B standard, and I
Yeah,
wasn't sure because I was
possibly.
looking to see what the B standard was, but I couldn't find it. So I was like, the most we could hope for is maybe a B standard in some of these events, and that's where you send only one, I think, or something.
Yeah, yes.
And
It
that's if Jamaica chooses to take up the offer and send that athlete. But I always think, for experience, it's good to send them. Even if they, stand no chance, it's always good to send them, in my opinion, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if to me, like if you go, sometimes I believe it, like it unlocks, some type of hunger in you where you're like, you know what, I've been here, I see what the best are doing. Maybe I can try a little harder and see what happens the next year or the year after. But I'm really interested in just seeing the growth though of the event. I see a lot of collegiates doing the athletes, so doing this event. So yes, we may not have hit the qualifying standard mark just yet, but the mere fact that I see so many, females participating in the event, I think is a good sign, for the future. So maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but in a couple of years, we may see something really good.
albeit though, if what's her name? Lawrence. Shade Lawrence is because I think she would have gone to a world games already. So for her, I think she might have the best chance of finding, because sometimes it's where they're at in their program.
Right.
Some athletes might just find that good throw at event. They used to talk about
Yes.
Dad's Morgan, that he always throw at a particular place to meet the qualifying standard, and then when he
Yeah,
reaches
I
to the
think I remember
trial,
hearing that.
him kind of flunk out. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
it depending on where they're at the program, it could be a slowdown because of injuries or some sort of setback in their program. But like I said before, I'm not really optimistic about this event. But it would be great to see at least one person hit that standard.
Well, as you mentioned, Sade, she does have a personal best of 67.05 meters. So clearly she would be ahead of the qualifying standard, just not yet this year.
Right.
And she definitely has made the Olympics, the top eight in the Olympics actually. So she's had good years, Hopefully she can get back to that best that she has thrown, hopefully this year, if it's not too late. But as I said, if nothing happens this year, I just love the fact that I'm seeing people. The more people I see, is the more the event will eventually grow. I'm tired of us depending on this one athlete. So if that
Mm-hmm.
one athlete is injured, we have no hope, kind of thing. So I just like seeing the growth, and hopefully it will matriculate into something big, in the future.
Yes, definitely. I agree.
All right. So with that said, we're going to move on. Let's take something fun. Let's take the men's triple jump. Okay. So yes, that was giving me sleepless nights.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh my gosh, I had to rush through a few of them though, to be fair, because I started in After Effects and then I realized it was taking too long, so I just had to cut it shortcut in Premiere Pro. But anyway, so into the men's long jump, an exciting event for Jamaica this year because we have such a junior standout starlet that is doing phenomenal things in the event that we are starting to hope and dream not only for a global medal, but we are wondering, can we get a world record out of this phenomenal athlete? And the athlete in question obviously is Jadon Hibbert, currently the world leader in the triple jump, has jumped 17.87 meters. Behind him now, we have O'Brien Wasom, 16.80 meters so far for the season, and Owens, he jumped 16.61 meters. I think he finished sixth in the NCAA's outdoors, while Jadon won plus broke every record under the sun as it relates to the NCAA's. So far, though, coach, only Jadon has qualified or has met the qualifying standard this year for the triple jump. I was actually very surprised by that. Based on how good the jumps were, I was thinking that quite a few of them would have made it, but it's 17.20 meters. Only Jadon has hit it so far this season. We have the likes of Clive Pullen, in the back. Let me just pull that back up again. So let me just go over the athletes. We have Jordan Scott, 16.58 meters. We have Ryan Brown, 16.48 meters. We have, Apollos Edwards, 16.28 meters. And of course, Clive Pullen in 16.19 meters. All of them into that list is 16 meter barrier, clearly needing to jump into 17 meters to get the automatic qualifying standard. I actually have high hopes for this event. For us Jamaicans, I'm hoping that we do have three people that can snag that qualifying standard for World Championships. I mean, Jadon already has it. I'm hoping that we get another two based on what I was seeing this season. What are your thoughts on this event, coach?
I mean, it goes without saying that Jadon is the front runner in this event. It's been a while I've seen a Jamaican really manifest so much potential in this event. The last person I've seen in this event that manifested um, promise was a James Beckford. Was it James Beckford? Yeah, I think so. Or did he do the long and the triple jump?
Yeah,
I
he did
think so.
the.
I think I,
I think it's long. I
I
remember
think
him
it's the
long. I don't
long
remember him
jump.
in triple.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't recall. I might be mixing it. I think he did both event, but he didn't do so well in the triple jump. He was more of a long jump specialist. But for me, in my time watching track and field, I've not seen a Jamaican excel in this event, and it's good to see that in my lifetime I am seeing a young man really taking on to this event and dominating this event. And he's not just dominating, but he's doing exceptionally well in terms of being the age that he's at. He's just 17, soon to be 18. So
I think I think he's
it
already
is
18.
he's already 18. All right. So I
Mm.
think he's doing exceptionally well. He has put Jamaica on the map where triple jump is concerned. And like we said in a stream that we did over on my platform that it's not only tracks anymore for Jamaica, it's track and field. And to me,
Agreed.
without it goes without saying, Jaden, basically, I'm looking for him to get uh the world record. That's what I'm anticipating for him. So I'm not worried
Yeah.
about him qualifying and all of these things. You do have miss up
Mm-hmm.
where persons fall and so forth, but
Yeah.
I think he's in his aki, they say. So it's kind of difficult for him not to qualify in this event. He's very technical, and it's a technical event, of course, and he's very
Very
technical,
technically sound. Yeah.
very, very technically sound. So I like that about
Mm-hmm.
O'Brien Waysome would be one that we possibly would have seen knocking at the door, but apparently whoever is behind the door not opening up for him. And a Jordan Scott. Jordan Scott has a lot of potential, but I'm not
Yeah.
seeing him actually take it by the scruff of the neck and just take
Mm-hmm.
charge and hit that 17-meter mark, hit that qualifying 17.5, 17, thereabout.
Mm-hmm.
In on the fringe of 17. And I mean,
What do you make of this of Owen Owens? I have to be honest. Owen, this is the first year I'm knowing of Owen Owens, obviously. In
yes.
the triple jump here, but he's somebody that has been gradually getting better, and that's what I like. Over anything else, it's just gradual growth. You know what I mean? Sometimes you won't see that big thrust into
Mm-hmm.
greatness. You'll see, and I think gradually get there. And for me, I'm very impressed by what I've been seeing from Owen. Owen's not somebody that anybody's talking about, but slowly behind closed doors doing his thing and getting results.
Yeah, man, you're right. But I'm not really familiar with him myself. But
Mm-hmm.
like you said, yes, he's improving steadily. But at this time of the season, we can't be basically looking on steady, being having that steady rotation going into whatever, because you see with the NCAA outdoor athletes when they compete,
Mm-hmm.
that's it for them. So all they have to be doing is training, training, training. They used to be training in a group. Now they have to possibly be training by themselves or alone. So that
Mm-hmm.
motivation, and sometimes people say that them burn out, but sometimes that the motivation not there for them to
I
really
agree.
compete. They are not signed so that they can go on the circuit to do a one run here or there, a one jump here and there. So these things really
Mm-hmm.
hamper them, and a lot of fans will say that, oh, them burn out,
Mm-hmm.
which is it is a rigorous system. However, at the end when they have to come to the trials, trust me, they have to keep working, working, working. And there's a principle of training that tells you that if you don't use it, you lose it. So they're not competing. They might be
Mm-hmm.
competing in training, but they're competing with the clock. Or in the sun, they're trying to compete with distance. But when the competitive edge comes around in terms of you competing against an opponent, that's two different things. So with
You
them
know
not
what I've been
getting.
saying? I've been not to cut you, but I've been
Mm-hmm,
seeing a few of the collegiate athletes looking like they're making the effort to get themselves into meets because there are meets going on, just like how we have our
mm-hmm,
development meets over
yeah.
here. Obviously, there are some in America, hosted by maybe the colleges themselves. But I've seen, the effort to get these to be there and be performing. And the only thought process in my mind is when I'm seeing that is obviously to get better because they know they have to hit the standard. They
Yes.
can't wait until trials. They need to be getting in these meet, keep sharp as you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully get what they're looking for, get the result that they're looking for.
Because sometimes if they don't get the standard in the season, it's very difficult for them again. Like I said, because of these variables that would cause them not to be able to compete. And it's good to know that
Mm-hmm.
meets are being keeping to keep. I guess somebody woke up and smelled the coffee and realized
Yeah.
that they have to do this because they are inactive after the NCAA. Mark you,
Yeah.
the ones who don't matriculate to the finals, they are worse inactive. So if they have any dreams of coming to the trials, they have to try to motivate themselves to be in the
But isn't
thick
that
of
the same thing
things.
we see happening out here to coach where I didn't used to see all these development meets out here. No, there's one every week.
No man, all comers have always been happening over
Yeah,
the
but so
years.
much, so many. I don't
Yeah
recall
man,
so
every
many. No, I
weekend.
could be wrong here.
No man, every weekend you used to have the all comers meet.
No,
One,
I'm asking you this amount.
yeah.
Yeah, wow. I don't know. It feels strange to me. Like
Yeah man,
every
they
week
have
I'm
been
seeing a
having.
meet.
I
I'm like, oh, what's going on?
it might be something not too far back, but
Mm-hmm.
probably 15 years ago it has been happening. Yeah. Or even
No,
before that.
sir.
Yeah, man.
That's how long I got so much development me go on and I haven't been knowing what's going on. I feel weird. But
What
anyway,
development meet? Are you talking about the all comers meet that are held every
all of
Saturday?
them. No,
Ye-
I call all of them development meets. So outside of racers, Grand Prix, all of them, every other meet,
Yeah,
in
the
my
Racers
opinion, is
Grand Prix
a
is
development
new.
meet.
All right. The Velocity Meet Fest is a new
Right.
thing. But
Mm-hmm.
the Budapest thing is just
That's a
renamed.
new
They
thing.
rename it.
No,
It has.
but my point is, even if they
Mm-hmm.
rename it from something else, we have the all comers, and we are running with the velocity, and we're running with the Budapest quest. We're doing so many different things, and I don't recall, maybe 5 years ago having so many development.
Yeah,
What
man.
I consider development meets.
Well, 5 years ago, you'd have the all comers meet. It's just that Velocity Fest came about, I think, in the midst of COVID when or post COVID when nothing was really happening. So that
Right.
that that honored the velocity. But the all comers was happening before, man. It's the same all comers that they renamed to Quest to Budapest. Just to put a
Okay.
spin and twist on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
man.
right, yeah, yeah, okay, I get you. All right, so triple jump. I mean, as I was saying earlier in the stream, before we can even start thinking about, what our plans are for the World Championships. Obviously, we have to dance a yard. So I'm hoping that I can see Jaden come out, and do something spectacular at our championships. He doesn't necessarily need to, but just to be, on the safer side, because you never know. I don't want to say who's gonna have that lucky jump, but who is gonna execute on the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to. This is one event that I'm really really looking forward to, and I've had this thought process on my channel where I've been saying I've been getting the vibe that Jadon being at Arkansas somehow lit a fire under Wayne Pinnock, under Kerry McLeod, Clive Pullen, all of them, because I was watching them for years, and I thought Clive Pullen would have been the one, and then I was thinking Kerry would have been the one, and then I was thinking Wayne, and then I just stopped getting the vibe, like the hunger. I stopped feeling that hunger from them, and then out of nowhere, this phenomenal kid just turns up and does things that they couldn't do or can't do, you know what I mean, or haven't been able to do to this point. And they're like, I'm feeling like they're saying, no, so me not lose to that little pitney, I'm gonna turn up. I'm gonna turn up and I'm gonna show out. You know what I mean? Because I haven't been feeling this kind of hunger. I haven't been seeing the jumpers turn up like this. And I just have this feeling that it has something to do with the fact that there's Jadon. He's so young, and they're like, no, 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 no. We can't let this youngster outdo us and outshine us. We have to step up to the plate too. Are you getting any kind of vibe like that, or am I just in my head as usual?
um, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But I mean,
Okay.
I agree with you though. I am looking for something special from Jaden. That's all I can say. And I hope that somebody else or two of those athletes, Art's desire is to actually follow Jaden to the World Championship by making the
Yeah.
standard. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, with that said, we're going to jump straight into the women's triple jump. Also, another event that we're doing well in this season. Okay, so women's triple jump, a great event for Jamaica. It's been an event that Jamaica has been able to medal, on the global scene in. From way back, I think around 2007, if I'm not mistaken, coach. You can always correct me if I'm wrong. With Trisha K. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've been medaling for a while in this event, and the girls, well, girls always be doing what girls do, they always, continue the lineage. There's never a pause or a break. So yes, we have lovely female athletes continuing greatness in the event. We have the likes of Akila Smith that has jumped 14.54 meters so far this year to be the leader on the Jamaican side of things. Right behind her, we have Shanika Ricketts. She has jumped 14.53 meters so far this season. And just behind her will be Kimberly Williams, another stalwart for Jamaica that has jumped 13.89 meters so far. Now, clearly, this is not the distances that we're used to, especially from, a Kimberly Williams and a Shanika Ricketts. That 14.54 is a personal best for Akila Smith. But when I take into consideration the time that is left, um, to the world championships and what I've been hearing the athletes are working on, I do believe that they'll be able to get out to those further distances so that come world championships, they'll be able to contend for a medal. So far as it stands now, the qualifying standard time for the world championships is 14.52 meters. So right now we only have two that have automatically qualified. We still need that next one. There's Latovia Brown, Jaden Dawkins, waiting in the wings as well. What do you think about Shanika so far? We've talked about her already on your platform as it relates to, what she's working on. Do you think she'll make it, over 15 meters this season? Are we expected to see something much better come trials? What about Akila Smith and Kimberly Williams as well? Kimberly is having, I think Kimberly tends to sometimes have, especially when there are no world indoors in question, she tends to slowly get into her season and then she blasts out closer towards the championship, which is what I'm expecting this year. There wasn't an indoors this year, so maybe that's why she's so slow off the mark this year. I'm still expecting her, to be amongst that top three that make it in, and of course get that qualifying standard time in time for the world championships.
Qualifying distance.
Oh, sorry, distance.
Yeah. For me, I I really want to see Shanika Ricketts making that coveted 15-meter mark. And I have been able to see her do a few workouts, and from what I've seen, and I see the transition on the runway, she has gotten faster, she has gotten stronger. It's just for her to transfer all of that into the two final phases, the hop step, and I could say the third, a landing. I think her landing is the issue under her step phase,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd love for her to polish that so that she can
Yeah.
go over that mate. There's no doubt that she will be national champion, all being equal. No doubt about that. Uh
Mm-hmm.
so that is it for Shanika Ricketts. Trisha, I like her. I like how she has been improving this season from the back end of last
Akilia,
season. Yes.
Akilia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like her, what she has been doing last season, and it has been brought forward to this season. That's a good look. I think
Yeah.
she can make it to the world championship, I believe, because there's not much competition out there in this event to break up these top three. Kimberly, uh, kind of iffy where she's concerned. Like you said, I think she has started slow, and I don't know what they will be doing in this week and a half to fine tune to actually go and make that qualifying standard. Or I believe that hers might be able to transfer from last season. But all in all, I think she's gonna be one of them that makes it. Um,
Mm-hmm. But
um,
similar to how we've always said prior to my new thought process when it comes to Shelley and Fraser Price, obviously. But in the past, We've always said, when we've looked at our top girls in the sprints, it was always just a few of them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the expectation was, those few irons, when they met up together, will face off and sharpen each other. I have a different thought process now, obviously, because execution has changed for a lot of them, kind of thing. So my thought process is not necessarily the same, but for these three athletes in particular, they've competed so many times together. Especially now, Akila has joined them on the world scene. I think
Mm-hmm.
she was also at Commonwealth, if I'm not mistaken, with the
Yeah, man, I
girls as
think so.
well. So she would be used to competing with them. Is this a perfect opportunity for herself to sharpen herself against a Shanika Ricketts, and also for Kimberly that has started a bit slower, obviously, to sharpen her distances.
Yeah, man, certainly. When you go up against tough and top competitions, of course it gets you in the mindset of big championship, because these athletes are top athletes who have been there at the World Games. So of course I believe that everybody's gonna look forward to this competition so that it can improve them, it can get their psychological aspect of the game ready. You know what I mean? Because for most
Yeah.
people, this might be the last event before they might have over a month after to prepare for the championship. Some people might be having a one jump or here and there, some might not. So coming at the national trials, it's they're gonna relish the moment and the opportunity, because it is
Hmm.
big competition for them, and it is in preparation for the trials. I heard you mention Jaden Dawkins, my little girl. I don't think she's going to be competing
Hmm.
at the national trials. I doubt
Oh,
she. Yes, I don't think she'll be competing unless something different happens. But I don't think she'll be competing. So
is it because of injury, or she just deciding that she's not ready yet, and she's just gonna sit this one out?
she was actually being prepared to enter into the CAC and that age group competition, but I doubt she'll continue. So I say no more.
Okay, no problem.
Hmm.
Understood. All right. So, that is it for the women's triple jump. Trackies, you should know the standard. You hear us talking about the standard. That's the biggest thing for the athletes. Right now, obviously, is to get into the standard. The standard is 14.52 meters. Again, you have to dance a yard before you can dance a board. So before you can get to the World Championships, to have all that lovely festivities and do your best, you have to, do it when it counts, and it counts here at the National Stadium. Being in that top three, obviously, the first thing, and of course, getting the qualifying standard as well. Now, moving on from the triple jump, I think we just have two events left, if I'm not mistaken. We have the shot put. Um, All right, so the men's shot put from me has definitely seen better years. Dating back to when Odin Richards was a bronze medalist back in 2015. In this event, I really thought at that time that Jamaica definitely had a breakthrough in the event, and we would continue seeing, medal prospects. Maybe we wouldn't necessarily get on the medal podium each year, but we'll be definitely seeing medal prospects each year. But somewhere, somehow, the Americans decided to start doing crazy things in the shot put and throw world records every 5 seconds. So the Jamaicans have not been able to keep up. So as it stands right now, we have Rajindra Campbell that is currently leading the shot put throwers for Jamaica. He has thrown 21.31 meters. Behind him, we have Rajay Stoner that has thrown 20.08 meters. And something he said when he made this throw is that he was surprised. And then we also have Odin Richards, stalwart in the event for us, 19.68 meters so far for the season. Now, as it relates to the qualifying standard, none of them so far have met the standard this season. It is 21.40 meters. That is the standard for the men, and the farthest throw so far for us is 21.31 meters. This is not looking good for shot put this year. Coach, what do you think? Is there any hope this year? It's not looking so good at all.
I just looked up the James Beckford City. Yes, he has, a matter of fact, he has the national record for the triple jump.
Oh, he
17.92.
does. He does. It's true.
Yes,
It's true.
yes.
It's true. Yeah.
So I just looked up that information. So my memory is not that all bad. All right. In terms of the shot put, nada.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you got
There's no
22,
hope.
23, if you
Mm-hmm.
have a chance in this shot put. Listen,
It
Cruiser
has.
raise the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we not talk the real Navy bar and them type of bar there. We talk the bar in
Yeah.
in in,
And it's not
in
only him, Oh Lord, I don't want to call the wrong names. I was about to say Stall, but I know Stall is discussed and not American. All of those American guys, they
yeah
have
man,
literally
the
raised
shot
the
put crew.
bar.
Them
Yeah,
yeah
there's a
man, they
shop
raise the bar,
over
man.
there that they're just doing ridiculous things. And I just think that Jamaica has just, right when we were breaking in to the shot put, they just decided to say, okay, I'm gonna shut the door on you. And boops, and they just took it into a different league. And I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. So I think it's gonna take a while for us to get into it again. We reopen the door. I don't know if it's gonna happen with these set of guys that we're currently having the event. Maybe it's gonna take another phenom like a Jadon to come out of any nowhere and start doing ridiculous things in the event. But you know what I find? Something that you said earlier, and I wanted to mention something on it, but I just remember now. When you talked about Jamaica really has these phenoms in events, and I was wondering if that has anything to do with our mentality, in the sense that a lot of times, call me greedy or whatever you want to say, a lot of times on my channel, I would say if an athlete is showing particular, showing that they are capable of doing something, on the world stage, why not take the opportunity to get paid to do this job? Yeah. And the thought process is, and obviously I'm not saying, scrap school, because we've now learned, or at least I've learned that, you can actually have that, as part of your contract, it's not the end of the world kind of thing. So I'm like, why not? What's stopping you? It's not free anymore. You're getting paid to do it. And the consensus from a lot of Jamaicans is, why would I not stop force the pay them to go pro? Lift them, make them go to school. And I keep thinking to myself, is it because of this particular mentality that a lot of Jamaicans that we've had, a lot of junior standouts that could have been world beaters, have missed their opportunity? I've literally been coming to this thought process recently that I want bet a lot of juniors miss their opportunity because of the thought process being, oh no, go on a school.
Mm.
Sometimes what you have is in this moment, and if you miss this moment, there's not going to be another moment. So you go spend 4 years at school in college and say, okay, I can always come back. By the time you rally back round, two more girl reach now much better
Opportunity you
than you.
miss.
You know what I mean?
Missed
So
opportunity.
I think so. So yeah, anyway, that was just a little sidetrack thing. But yeah, I definitely think that sometimes, as it relates to Jamaicans, we just need to bite the bullet sometimes. I see youngsters all over the place doing ridiculous things. Look at and it's obviously it's a different sport, clearly. Look at tennis when Serena and Venus's father decided to make them go pro as little children. I mean, less than 10 years old little children running up and down professional. It's crazy. I'm telling you, a Jamaican would never do that. It would be outside of everything that they've ever known, and they'd never take that risk. Am I saying that we should just randomly take risks? No, but I'm just saying sometimes just bite the bullet now. You never know.
Yeah, yeah, you have
You never know.
individuals that are going to have to count the cost and make a call. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you hit.
Yeah, but that's life. But that's life with
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. So you
It's
have
a
to
hit
just
and miss with everything.
but one thing I don't want in making that decision for persons to just do it for themselves and not think about the child.
Oh,
because
no, no, no.
the
Yeah, yeah,
child would
yeah,
have
yeah.
to want it, you know. Be some
Um,
parents have them and think that they are a cash cow. So that in itself could be a situation where
I
they
agree
just
and
do
I
it.
disagree
Yeah,
in a certain sense.
it has a twofold sort of setting, but
No, in what you're
sometimes the
saying
athletes
in the
don't
sense
want to
of
do the sport, you know,
right,
and then
that
the
part.
parents press them, you know.
That part, which is why I'm saying I disagree, because sometimes as a child, you don't necessarily want to do what's quote unquote right for you in that sense. So
Mm-hmm.
me sending you to school, sometimes you don't want to go to school. You know what I mean? You want to stay home and sit on your tablet all day, every day. You know, that kind of thing. So while I do agree with the whole cash cow part, you know, where parents are doing it for a money grab, but at the same time, kids don't necessarily know what's good for them anyway. So it's
Not
like
all, not all,
parents still have to decide.
not
Say that
all,
again?
not all children don't know what they want, and you have the
No, no,
parents
no, no,
don't
no, no.
know what the child want either. They don't know what they want. So
I
I
know
just
a few
you say
parents.
you can agree and you can disagree with the notion.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So we're just gonna jump straight into we're heading into the final leg of the show. So we're gonna jump straight into the women's shot put. Yeah, where is that? All right, so the women's shot put has been looking kind of goodish-ish, I would say. I mean, it's only Danielle, really.
Yeah, just Daniel, national
But
record
I
holder.
appreciate, I still appreciate seeing the collegians, or the collegians, in the event. It means there's hope for the future. Again, I don't really necessarily like depending on the one athlete, because if Daniel is not good, then we just have nobody. You know what I mean? So Daniel though has been looking fantastic. No, not Daniel. Sorry, Danielle has been looking fantastic this season. She's already thrown a national record so far, 19.77 meters, to be the leader in Jamaica for the shot put. Also, you know, comfortably making the qualifying standard, which stands at 18.80 meters. So she has comfortably cleared that through that distance this season. Behind her, though, we have Lloyd Drika, Cameron, that has thrown 16.98 meters, and Daniel Slowly, that has thrown 16.57 meters. Now, clearly, these athletes would be behind the qualifying standard by quite a few meters. I'm not necessarily seeing where you know, it will be possible for them to go with Daniel this season to the World Championships. But again, I like seeing progress, and I appreciate any progress that we can get in these events. In a few years, I've been calling it that, you know, Jamaica will no longer be known as, you know, the, you know, sprint nation kind of thing. Will be known as a full-fledged track and field nation, where we'll be getting medals from, you know, in the field, and of course obviously on the track. So Daniel, sorry, clearly the leader, clearly already qualified, looking good so far this season. Let me just quickly check where she ranks, sorry, on the world list for the shot put. Let me just pull that up here. Okay. Oh, that's triple. Shot. Okay, so in the world so far for the shot put, she's third so far behind Maggie Ewing, another American. You know, America seems to be doing something amazing in these shot puts, I have to be saying. But anyway, I'm a little jealous. 20.45 meters. And of course, Chase Ely behind her, 20.606 meters. And then we have Daniel Thomas Dodd, 19.77 meters so far this season. Um, it's just a thing where she's just gonna show up, take her spot, and then head off to get prepared for the World Championships. No stress, no struggle, coach.
Exactly as you said it. No doubt about that. I have nothing
Okay.
to, it is as simple as that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any fuss for Danielle at all in this event. She just has to turn up. get her qualifying stand. I mean, not her qualifying standard, just get in the top three, and she's good to go. No fuss. I know some probably one throw is gonna do it, but I hope she throws takes her 6 attempts. Maybe she'll be able to further her distance. But again, this sounds like a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah, as is.
All right. So moving on. This is the last event that we'll be jumping into this season. Okay, and track is also, let's let you know, clearly there are other events out there. And if we missed any Jamaicans, no matter feel no way, just so you go. We have to see the ones that we do have a few Jamaicans in the event, and then we talk about those ones kind of thing. All right, so the last event up is the long jump. So this for me is gonna be really, really, really hot, both on the male side and the female side. So we'll just start with the females in this case, because I really want to end up with the men because the men are looking, they're looking a little sticky this season. So let's start with the women. All right, so women's long jump. Jamaicans have been having a really, really good season in the long jump. Well, then again, the long jump from a global standpoint has been looking really good this season. But obviously, I only care about what Jamaica is doing. Well, that's not true. I care about what the world is doing because I want to know the comparison. But still, Jamaica has been having a really, really good year in the long jump. Now, with that said, we have Akila Smith jumping all the way out to 7.08 meters to still be the leader in the world for the long jump. I'm just trying to quickly pull it up so that I'm not mistaken over that world lead up post. Yeah. Yeah, she's still the world leader. Great. So she is still the world leader in the long jump, jumping 7.08 meters this season. And then we also have Nia Robinson that has jumped 6.69 meters so far this season. And we have Tisana Hicklin that has jumped 6.66 meters. But just behind her as well, we have Shanice Porter that has jumped 6.54 meters. Do you see a possible upset in this field, coach? Going off the qualifying standard, that is 6.85 meters. Did they raise it? I swear to God, they're raising these standards. It's
Yeah, man. There
6.85
was an
meters. So
updated
far,
one. Yeah, man.
we only have one person that has qualified automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, what do you think about the persons that are competing at trials? Do you possibly see an upset? Can Shanice Porter sneak in and top of someone that's in that top three-ish looking position and hopefully possibly get around to that 6.85 this season?
Shanice Porter, very good jumper, but I've not seen much from her to say that um she and well I stand corrected because she could be working on something because she went to what 6.5
Yeah,
and
6.5,
yeah 6.5 something, and she could easily between 6.5 and 6.8. It's not a far
6.52.
it's not a far
Yeah.
distance, not a far distance. So she can easily well make it. I think Tisana Icklin, the stablemate of Shanika Ricketts, can also make it there.
Mm-hmm.
But the one to beat, I think, is Akila Smith. She's the informed athlete. She's doing well. I
Yeah.
think Tisana did a few meets outside of Jamaica a few weeks ago. So I think that is in prep
Mm-hmm.
for the national trials. Let us see what she'll bring
Mm-hmm.
back from that experience and see if she can topple Keela Smith because, like I said before, she's the one to beat in this event.
What do you find about this Nia Robinson athlete? Again, these athletes are breaking out for me year by year. So this is also an athlete that I'm just learning about this season as well. But something I found very interesting about her is that you know when you talk about speed, the run up, she does not run give you that kind of hard run up. And the jump definitely needs a lot of work. But with all of that said and done, she's jumped 6.69 meters with so much to improve. I mean, there's a lot. When I look at her, how she jumps versus the other females, you can tell that they're fully extended. She hasn't even begun to start extending her body out into that pit. So I'm like to myself, there's clearly a lot of room for improvement from this young athlete. I don't know if that's going to happen this season, but as it relates to the future, she looks like she may be able to do some damage if she continues in the event and obviously gets better technically in the event for sure. But as it stands now, I agree with you, Akila. Don't really see anybody toppling her. I'm hoping because there's so many girls in and around that 7 meter barrier this season with the long jump. Let me just pull up the world list for the women and the long jump because yeah, we have Tara Davis that's right behind her with 707. Then we have Agate De Sosa. Oh my Lord, this is some new athlete to me. She's at 7.03 meters. Then you have Kanisha Burke, 6.95 meters. Then we have Asani, 6.91 meters. I don't even see the German. Where's the German girlie? She isn't even on this. Where's Mihambo? Is Mihambo German? I don't even see the defending champion. Mihambo won last year, correct?
Um, I don't recall,
It,
to be honest.
I think it's Mihambo. I don't even see her on the list. The female long jump list this season is looking really, really crazy. So yeah, Akila though, I'm hoping that this form can carry through to world championships and I'm hoping that we can see a little something special. But let's see. But for now though, um I do have her going to trials. I do have her, taking the event, but I do think the other three behind her will be in a ding dong battle for those other two spots. And the question will be after that, can they make the qualifying standard to see if they can head off to the World Championships with Akila.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So well, you know what? I actually missed an event here. So I'm just gonna take that event and then I'm gonna jump back. I don't know how I missed it. I can't believe I didn't speak about the high jump. Did I cover the high jump?
No, I don't
No, I
recall you
didn't.
covering it.
Yeah, I didn't cover the high jump. So
So
I'm
we
just
can
gonna
just
quickly
finish
take.
off the long jump and then go back to
No, I want to save the spicy long jump, the
it.
men's long jump for last because it's nice. And there's not really much happening in the high jump to be fair, and I'm just giving them a shout out. Okay.
For me,
All
in this
right.
one,
Now with that,
Wilson and
uh-huh.
Brian are the ones to
Who's on
watch.
Brian doing what?
In the high jump, can they make this the qualifying standard? That's the
Um,
next thing.
Look here, the qualifying and then the outer Woi Woi. And there's a reason why I say it's outer Woi Woi. It may not look like a lot, right? It's what's that? 6 point, am I saying it right? Is that the right thing? It's not six, 2 point, sorry, 2.32 meters, right? It's not very far from the current jumps from our Jamaicans in James Beckford being 2.27, Wilson being 2.26, and Christoph Bryan being 2.24. However, one thing I've learned about this high jump is even when it's one little centimeter, it come like it's a whole ravine them a jump over.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So that's a huge gap to build up to get to that 2.32
Three,
meters
two.
to
These men have to
make it.
PB in order to in order to make it.
Yeah, They have to.
The
They have
qualifying
to.
standard.
I was just giving them a shout out because, Romain Beckford, won the NCAA championships, and he's definitely one to look out for. Hopefully he doesn't fall off, because Christoph Bryan also did have, great years in the NCAAs, and, being plagued with injuries as well, was not able to come to what I thought he would, over the years. Maybe he still can. But for now, Romain Beckford is doing his thing. Still needs to jump higher, though. Has to jump much higher
Mm-hmm.
to be of any and again, I don't know why the standard is up there, to be honest, because that's a medal jump.
I
Why
mean,
is
they
the
want
standard
to
so
ensure
high?
that the feel that is coming out is of high standard and quality.
That doesn't make any sense, because when you look at the sprints, the standard is what, 11.10 for the women. Nobody now run that in a final who win no medal. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
don't
but
understand why
in
the
order to
field.
go there, you have to run that time.
No,
Then
I
if
know,
you
but
improve
look at
after
it
that,
in direct contrast. At 2.32 can give you a medal. At 11.10 can't give you a medal. Let me just check the standard for the women in the 100. What is this? If it has changed. 11.08. At 11.08 cannot give you a medal. That can't even get you to the
it
finals.
depends on the condition, man.
I think it's unfair for the field events. I'm just saying it's unfair. You can't be telling them to jump a medal height to make it. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, shout out to, Romain Beckford, and of course Lashane Wilson, Christoph Bryan. Hopefully they'll be able to come to trials. They can each rally each other on and see how far they can get. Hopefully somebody gets to the qualifying standard height in order to make it to the World Championships. Now we're just gonna jump straight into the women's high jump from this. Where's the women's high jump thing? Women high jump. All right. So women's high jump. With me seeing Lamar Distin in recent years doing well. Kimberly Williamson has come back out, and she's has now re-engaged the sport and is doing well in the high jump. Still much more room for improvement again on the world scene when it comes to medaling. However, they both went to the Commonwealth Games. Lamar Distin walked away with a gold medal, and of course Kimberly the bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. For now this season, Lamar has jumped 1.95 meters. Second behind her is Daniela Anklin, that has jumped 1.86 meters, and Kimberly Williamson has jumped 1.85 meters. Interestingly, the qualifying standard is 1.97 meters, and no one has made it so far this season. So, coach, what do you make about Lamara? She didn't win NCAAs. Seems a bit off, or are they trying to time everything perfectly for the World Championships to ensure that she, medals?
Uh, most of those coaches don't time it for that. They basically want to win at the outdoors NCAA. So in to say that they're timing it, nah, I don't believe that, because they want to win at the outdoors. I think she's the leading person in this event. Kimberly Williamson. I have not seen her this season per se, or probably I've not been zooming in on the high jump except for this thing. But
Mm-hmm.
she's the one for me. She might be having a slow season. It could be numerous reasons,
Mm-hmm.
from injury to trying something different. So, I mean, I'm not certain, but she's a front runner. I think she'll qualify, but to go to the Worlds and medal, it's gonna be a very daunting task.
Yeah, it's gonna be a daunting task for her. But again, you never know what will happen. Her season started well. Somewhere midway, she kind of looked like she just plateaued in a sense, and wasn't really going any higher. So I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it's as you said, maybe there's some kind of injury or something else. I'm just hoping that she can get back to her best. And of course, her best is 1.97 meters. So hopefully she can get back to there. And she jumped an indoor personal best this season as well and broke the indoor Jamaican record. So we were expecting, this to continue and things to look much better for her outdoors. We haven't seen it just yet, which is why I'm wondering if and don't get me wrong, I understand that they want to win at nationals, right? But I've been getting this vibe from our athletes in recent years where a lot of them, they start talking about, I want to go to the championships. I want to tailor my season towards the championships. I've been hearing that a lot from the athletes themselves. So I don't think it's solely just the NCAAs anymore. As it relates to, that championships, I believe that a lot of them are sitting down with their coaches, they're talking and they're like, okay, I believe I can, be of some use on the world scene. Help me get there. That's the vibe that I'm getting. So hopefully it's something like that for Lamara. Because she started her season really, really well. So I'm hoping again that she'll be able to get to that qualifying standard first and foremost, and then be able to head off to the world championships. Because without the qualifying standard, obviously there's no world championship to speak of. I see someone in the chat saying apparently Lamar had a close family member that passed away recently, so maybe it's that reason. Okay, thank you so very much for the information. I did not know, so yes, that could possibly be the reason for her performance so far. Hopefully, she'll be able to be up and going sooner rather than later. But again, if she needs some time, then yeah, that's nothing that we can do about that right now. So we're just gonna move on to the last event. No, this is the last event. I've been saying the last event for a while, but yeah, this one is the last one. All right. So the men's long jump, I think this is going to be the toughest battle out of all other field events that will be going on at the trials, because we have Wayne Pinnock that's currently leading the Jamaican jumpers so far this season with 8.37 meters. Wayne Pinnock, that's him right there in front. Then right behind him is Kerry McLeod, 8.26 meters so far in the long jump. And as you know, Kerry won the long jump and at the NCAAs, and Wayne Pinnock was second. But right behind them is Jordan Turner. He was third at the NCAAs, if I'm not mistaken, jumping 8.13 meters. And then just behind him is Tajay Gale, jumping 8.12 meters. And then behind them is Nikolai Williams, 7.96 meters, O'Brien Wasom, 7.89 meters. So, this four cannot go into three. Right now, I'm looking at four. I'm looking at Wayne, I'm looking at Kerry, I'm looking at Jordan, and I'm looking at Tajay. And just I want to say, I didn't realize that Jordan was that little slim color bar guy until I saw him without the hair on his head, because I couldn't place him. I'm like, who is this person? And then I saw him without the hair, and I'm like, oh, that's him. So yeah, four cannot go into three, and this is gonna be really, really tough. They have to come up with their A game in this one, coach. The qualifying standard for the long jump is 8.25 meters. So far, two have met it. I believe that with this competition that I'm expecting that's gonna come up, we may have all four guys jumping over that qualifying standard. What say you?
Oh, my bad. I said it is very interesting because I think this event will be one that will attract a lot of attention at the national trials. This long jump with the trio of Wayne, Carey, and Tajay. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be very pulsating. And let me put a twist to it. You see, all that they did before,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter. Once they
True.
come into the national trials, it's
Mm-hmm.
now who will get the bragging rights of being national champion. Yeah. And you have to be in that. You have to prepare to take those 6 jumps
Mm-hmm.
in order to be the national champion. You might have a little mishap at one, you foul a jump, or it
Mm-hmm.
did not get the distance that you want, and you walk out of the pitch, you walk back so that you can get the foul, and all sort of things will be happening. But trust me, this one is going to be very competitive.
Who
McLeod
stays
is
home,
doing,
coach? Who
huh?
stays home, coach? Who is staying home? Four cannot go into three. Who is
I
staying home?
mean, I think these three will be the top three.
Which is Wayne, Carey, and
Wayne, Carey,
Tajay.
and TJ.
So you're saying Jordan is not going to be able to hang with these guys at trials?
If Jordan break the trio, you will have to jump over the qualifying standard,
Mm-hmm.
and that will get him in. Remember, I said it here, right?
But doesn't
But
that mean that Tajay also has to be on his A game? He hasn't been
of
on his A game recently. So
of
if
course,
he's, he might go slide.
of course, he has to be on his A game. Definitely.
He,
If you look at it, one person can also not make it, but the battle royal will be among those 3 individuals for top honors. If Jordan turns up and he, like I said, he produced one of those worldies
mm-hmm.
out of the 6, because I want you wanting at the 6, you know.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Some give you 2, but sometimes they need 1. So is who can actually go out there and execute. Because one thing I know about the national stadium, you see that wind thing there, it fluctuates. You can get this wind reading, I can get this one, and then it can throw off your game. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a McLeod is doing well. Um what's the name of the other one there?
Wayne.
Wayne Pinnock. This is his stomping ground as well at the National Stadium
Mm-hmm.
from Champs days.
And I feel like he's seething a little bit because he lost the carry, and that's his event, so he
Yeah,
should be coming
so
up with a little fire.
he might come back out mad and bad. You understand? So we have to look
Yeah.
out for this event. This event is gonna be epic and it's
Yeah.
gonna be very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Because these gentlemen are going to come out with their A game, and you have to produce an A game if you want to go
They
there
have
to
to.
Budapest.
In this event, they have to.
Yeah,
There's
man.
no question. There's no question about it. They have to
If
come ready for the long
if
jump.
all being
Wow.
equal and everybody shows up, like you said, everybody will be jumping over the standard.
And it's just sad, but somebody has to stay
Yeah,
behind.
man.
Well,
Somebody are crying, man.
oh my, it's gonna be tough, but yeah, I look forward to it. I'm really loving, again, as I said, the growth. Not just one guy. Again, so we were looking at Tajay, for the last few years, to say, okay, we're depending on him. When he was injured, we're like, okay, we're done and out. There's nobody to really send to challenge for a medal. Now we have, as well as Tajay himself, we have 2 more people, that can challenge for a medal. So I am really, really excited. I'm looking forward to this event come trials. And I know once they bring the fire here and they head to World Championships, they're going to obviously go there and obviously have a festival again, because again, this is the Budapest Fest
Mm-hmm.
prelude.
Yeah, man.
All right. So, coach, that is it. We've covered all of the field events. We've had to mush them all together into one show. Track is, this is the first time I've had Coach's Dex TV here on my platform. Please head on over and, of course, subscribe to his channel. Well, then again, he has more subscribers than me, so I'm not sure if all of my subscribers already subscribed.
Sorry. Excuse me. Is
There
that
might
true
not be any
word?
new ones. Yes, it's true word. There's no new subscriber to get. I could. Anyway, it was my pleasure having you here. Of course, we're gonna be continuing this. You're up next.
Mm-hmm.
So Track is join us tomorrow. Coach will let us know the time, of course. We're going to take Coach. Well, then again, we'll have to decide that off this scene or off the screen. Yeah. So track is that's it. We won't be staying here for too long, and of course we aren't taking the comments. I appreciate you though sticking around, and I appreciate you commenting as well. I hope you've enjoyed the show. This is a show. It's the Budapest Fest. Look forward to seeing it throughout this entire championships leading into the championships. Look forward to see us dropping consistent videos on the show, discussing, what is to come, what to look forward to from a Jamaican perspective. Yeah, and we'll be talking about the rest of the world too, because that's important. They're the ones that are standing in our way, as it relates to our medal hopes. So yes, look forward to us, of course, delving into our challengers and seeing if we can rub them out. Well, I'm interested in rubbing them out. Coach, maybe not. They're
What?
coach's cousins.
What?
They're coach's
No,
cousins. They're not
no,
mine.
no, man. We're the on Diamond League. We talk about cousin, but when they come on to your words, man. A white out we are use. Chart them
All
out, mark
right.
them out.
Okay. So with that said, thanks for joining, everyone. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.